afternoon. Life is good. For those of you that know how to flip the camera around so that it reads right, please tell me the magic trick. Thank you very much. Oh my god, speaking of magic tricks yesterday, so in our grocery store we have this thing where you can, the grocery lines where you can scan your own groceries and go through. And I have the app on my phone where where I can like scan my savings card, and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to like scan it on the machine, and I just like call the dude over and I'm like, hey, can you show me the trick of like how to scan my phone app into the register? And he's like, yeah, you actually have to use this little device over here. And I was like, oh, there's the magic trick, the right thing to do. Oh my god, it was so funny. I just love to be myself and bring humor everywhere I go. So, Steph, what's up? Are you on your lunch break from all of your training that you're doing? So, I am, I want to talk to you today about manifesting and beliefs and magic. And I was thinking about it. There's actually a few things. You know why? Because next week is coming up to a year of when I manifested that all expenses paid trip to Chicago, and had the like 5-day music festival, the hotel, the airfare, everything I manifested. But the thing that I want to talk to you today about is actually how I manifested my home that I'm in currently right now. And all right, Steph, I'll see you later. And and how the experience was so a reflection of my beliefs at the time, and how actually our experiences, everybody's experience, your experience is going to be reflecting back to you, you know, where your belief systems are. Hey, Doug Paul. Hey, Corbin. So, let me tell you, like, some background story is that for, I don't even know how many years was it? Like 15 years, I had a home, and for 10 years of that, I had it by myself. And it came to a point where I had this intuitive guidance that it was time to let it go. It was time to sell it. And it happened very quickly because I did some energy work around it. I think I had like 2 showings and it sold within 4 days, and it sold for like more than what my realtor wanted me to list it for. So I was doing a lot of magic and energy work behind all of that for that process to happen as quickly as it did. But then what it meant was, I was like now homeless. Like I didn't have a backup. I actually didn't even know if I was still going to stay in Connecticut at the time. But thankfully my sister opened up a bedroom for me, and my nieces, like, you know, went into one bedroom so I can have a bedroom on my own. And because everything happened so quickly, even the closing happened fast, I moved into my sister's place. But then as I was like looking for an apartment, and a few things happened in between, but that's not really important. But when I was really ready to put focus and attention, and when I knew that I was going to stay in Connecticut for a little while, I was on a search for apartments. And, you know, it's like everything that we want really comes from a space of choice. And what we experience is going to reflect what our deeper beliefs are, and even what, you know, what our subconscious choices are. And so when I started to look at spaces, you know, I would just go in and they would just be dingy. But this one space that I remember, and why I wanted to share this live is that when I went in, it was so tight and congested. I actually can even like feel like, I don't know, the smallness of it. And it was in this beautiful Victorian home. And when she was showing it to me, she said to me, she's like, yeah, this actually used to be the servants' quarters. I was like, the servants' quarters. And I was like, since it's all in my own mind, and I was like, okay, Kellyanne, you've got some adjusting to do. Like, you are not a servant. You are a queen. And something happening here that you are actually being drawn to servants' quarters. So I left there and I was like, all right, I've got some more inner work to do to bring myself into alignment to the space that I really wanted. And what I wanted was space. I wanted windows. I wanted light. I needed a tub, because some of the places I was looking at were just like, shower stalls. I wanted a bigger, I wanted space, because, I'm coming from this huge 3-bedroom house, a half-acre, pool, everything. And so when that happened, I was like, okay, nope, I got to go back in. I got to touch into, my inner vibration that is actually had been aligned with something considered a servant's quarters. And so I worked on my beliefs. And then I also didn't put a much time or energy or intention to what I was being drawn to as like wrong. What I was taking was that it was all information for me to take and to adjust what was going on within me to align to the right space. And then what I did is I reached out to a handful of support, friends and friends who could hold the space for a higher vision for me and almost energetically draw me up to that higher vision, into that bigger space energetically and physically. And so I was, I reached out, and then I was also getting support of being able to see beyond myself. So I was getting support, and having them hold the vision what was possible. It actually supported me and being able to get to that vision of what was possible. And so then I was reminded about the magic and the energy work that I had done around releasing my house so quickly, and I did some of that with my new home. And so what happened is that I knew what I wanted. I was really clear on what I wanted as far as the space and the location. I knew that I was a little bit off, so I reached out and got support, and from trusted friends. And then the energy work that I did is, oh God, there was a few things, but the thing that comes to mind is that I wanted to share today is not so much focusing on what life was presenting me, but like really honing in on what I wanted. And as I did that, the beliefs that I had that were not congruent with my greatest desire would come to the surface, and I would just let them go. And so what happened this one day, it was actually, I found my new home on Craigslist, and the funniest thing is that this ad had been open and available for a month. And I'll tell you, I had Craigslist, I had Trulio, I had all of the apps that I was looking for a new space. And for whatever reason, I never saw this space available. So after I had done some of the deeper energy work, like really going into myself, I opened it up, I saw the app, I came in, I had an appointment, and I walked in, and it was just like brand new and clean, and windows and a bathtub and a huge bathroom sink and living space, and space where I can actually put an office inside my living space, because I do work for myself and work from home. And did I say light and windows? And the other thing is that in a location where I can walk all the time, that's actually what I'm dressed to do now, is that in the brief period, well, it wasn't a brief period, I went up, how do I want to say? Part of my manifestation is that I wanted to be in a space where I can easily walk to things. Like, I'm actually going to go drop off my tax bill. There's at least 2 of my favorite restaurants, or 3, are like in walking distance. 4. At any point in the year, I can walk, because sidewalks need to be shoveled during the winter. There's always light, and so I can, walk at any, and it feels like super safe. So it was just like, I I needed to really firm in within myself what I wanted, continue to just like lock into that. Naturally, whatever beliefs that weren't in alignment would rise, and I would just like let them go. I asked for support, and I wasn't going to settle for anything less, because at one point, an apartment did come very similar. It is actually a little bit less than what I'm paying now. But when I walked in, I felt it. I was just like, no, this is a big no. And, you know, I had been searching for a little while, and I remember coming home to my sister and saying, I found an apartment, but it just does not feel good. And I know that, like, you know, it has all these boxes ticked off, but it doesn't feel good. Hey, Karina. And so I said no to it. And when I said no to that space, oh, there's a butterfly here. When I said no to that space, that was actually giving a really strong message to, you know, to myself, to my soul, or my soul to me, and to the universe, that I was not going to settle for anything less than what I wanted. And while some things have been, you know, there's always adjustments, right? We're always being shown. Oh, good. Yeah, Karina's apartment. Oh, yeah. If you weren't from the beginning of this, or hopefully you're getting the gist of it, but it's like, you know, as things, you know, get a little funky, or if like there's any kind of discord, or you know, life reflecting me back something that doesn't feel great, I know that I gotta go. I go within. I go inside me, because everything that's out here is an expression of me. Hey, Stacy. And so, I mean, it's just so profound for me that when they ever said to me that that was servants' quarters, I was like, oh, I'm way off here. So hopefully that helps you, especially Karina, as you're going on your apartment hunting right now. You know, I was sharing with a client not too long ago, is that, to have that sacred circle, to have the support, because it's all energy. And so if I was to put any energy or attention, and this is what I call magic too, is like, if I was going to put any attention and energy on what was going wrong, I would build more of that. And I knew that I was having, I needed space for me to be able to clear whatever was out of alignment. And so that's when I did reach out for support, for others to hold that strong vision for me. And I'll tell you, within days it all came. And that really is about, it really is so much about what is available and possible for us, is that choosing. And sometimes we can't see these beliefs that are not in alignment on our own. And it's not so much about digging and finding out what they are, but knowing that life is a manifestation of our beliefs, and that to tune and change is to keep focused and forward about what it is that you really want and what you really want to experience, and to face whatever limitations that come up. There's stuff that could come up around, having, over responsibility, or, fears about not being able to manage, or, some insecurity stuff about not being worthy. And that's where the inner adjustment, and that's where the magic and healing opportunities are available to you. And sometimes we can't do it on our own, because they've actually become, these inner unconscious mechanisms. And so life is reflecting back. You are the medicine. You have what you need within you, and sometimes you need somebody on the outside to shine that light and to hold that space for you to up level, and on your own. And so next week, so inside this You Are the Medicine group, next week I'm going to be diving even further into subconscious beliefs and limiting blocks. And so I'm going to be sharing a little bit more and going a little bit deeper about what I shared today. But I'm also offering, everybody that is inside that group, I'm going to do intuitive readings, and I'm going to scan your system to see, where your belief is off from the reality that you want to be creating for yourself. And so I'll leave a link in here for you to join the group. You'll get caught up on the other lives that I did. Next week will be, yeah, so the end of, where are we, July. And so anyway, so anybody that joins for July, by the end of July, you're going to come in, you're going to get everything that was already there for July. You're going to be able to tune into that, transmission of communication around the beliefs, and get intuitive readings and system scans and anything that might be out of alignment. And also, everybody that joins through the end of July gets a 20-minute one-on-one laser call with me. Actually, going into August, that's going to be limited. What else did I want to say about that? Actually, I just had one of the members, I did a one-on-one call session this week with her, and I mean, we finished that session and she was on fire. So it's like I channeled what like she needed to do in the direction she needed to go, and she took action on it. And her system, I mean, not only like, you know, and then what happened is like her world started to reflect back to her, and that she was actually starting to channel and receive this new energetic vibration for herself. And so yeah, the 20-minute sessions are actually pretty freaking awesome. So you are the medicine. You've got it within you. We're not meant to do it alone. I mean, that's why we have you know, personal trainers and you know, coaches and healers. And because right now there is so much that is ready to be ignited within you, and the only thing in the way is you making that choice and knowing that it's possible. The magic is within you. The medicine is within you. Let's do this thing.